Hi Angels, welcome back to our channel. This is part 2 of the series of the tools and equipment that you're going to need for soap and candle making. So this is part 2 for the soap and bath products. So I'm just going to jump right, I should mention, you can find us on Shopify at thescentedangels.com. You can find us on all social medias at thescentedangels.com, on Facebook, or at The Scented Angels, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest. I believe that's it. But just most of the social medias that we are on, we're not doing a whole lot with Snapchat and TikTok right now, but we're going to. I wanted to get the YouTube started first before we really jumped into that. As I stated in previous videos, we've just entered the online world. We're a little behind, I know. But we just entered the online world back in February. We've been doing this for a long time. We make everything Bath and Body and home fragrances related for candles and wax melts. We started getting into reed diffusers and other stuff like laundry detergents and stuff like that. Those are not ready to be posted yet, so you're not going to find those anywhere right now. But it's pretty much anything Bath and Body related. So there's that. If you want to know more about what we do, so I'm not sitting here naming off a novel of everything we do, you can go look on Go Imagine and Shopify. So with that, let's get into it. So if you're looking to get into soap making, there are some basic tools and equipment that you're going to need. So there's a lot, so bear with me. First thing you're going to need is paper towels. This is going to come in some really awesome handy, especially if you're trying to use the same equipment and you're trying to move through things. Wash it with wash your tool or whatever you're using with soap and water. Use these to dry it out. And then the next thing you're going to need, as previously stated, you're going to need a calculator to calculate fragrances and stuff like that. You're going to need alcohol. I use a little spritz bottle for this. You're going to want, it is 91%. You're going to want 91% for your cleaning supplies in your area. I personally work out of my kitchen. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do. You're going to need a thermometer. Like I stated before, you don't necessarily need one like this. I mean, these aren't that expensive. They're like 20 bucks on Amazon. But you can use a regular food thermometer. The only downside of those is it takes a long time to get the temperature to show you what it is. With this, you aim and click the button. Another thing you're going to need is, again, gloves. If you're going to be making this making your items to sell, I highly suggest using gloves. It's a sanitary thing. You're going to want hair nets to prevent, hair. Yours, pets, anything like that. Working with some different powders. As you can tell, I've used this one. But you're going to need face masks so you're not inhaling all the powders and stuff. It's not really healthy. I use these. I just think it helps because I have dogs. It helps to prevent dog hair. I mean, I do lint roll and shake myself off, but just as an added layer of protection, I use that. You're going to need scissors with some things, like for example, some of your materials. Sometimes the thing doesn't rip off all the way, so you'll need to cut it. And I use little beakers. These are mainly for, I don't know, I guess it weighs a lot of stuff, like different oils and stuff like that. If you're going to be making big batches, I wouldn't do anything this small. I would go, bigger. This is glass. So it depends on your preference, really. And then you're going to need measuring stuff. So you can have measuring cups. I have a bigger one too that I use. So I use this one quite a bit. So again, everything that we do, it's done in small batches just for the efficacy of it and so I don't waste a bunch of materials. If you're doing soap specifically, I suggest having a pouring pitcher. It doesn't necessarily have to be the one that you get from Candle Science or Wholesale Supplies Plus. If you can find one that's bigger than this, I would do that. I find myself shoving soap down in there and it gets quite annoying sometimes, but I do what I gotta do, right? Another thing that you're going to need is some of these little dropper things. They call them pipettes. You'll need this for weighing out different ingredients like fragrance oils, for example. Let's see, what else? You'll need whisks for doing some stuff. Like I use whisks for our bath bomb mix and face mask, like powdery stuff. I sometimes use it for other soap too, but usually for other soap I use a spatula. This isn't the one that I use, but just as an example, if you go on candlescience.com, you can actually get a kit and it'll come with the spatula that you need. This one I use for candles, but the one that I use for soap is darker and more flimsy, and I like it. So another thing that you'll need are piping bags. So I use these for our body butters and whipped body wash. I'll put it down in there, and then that's how I make the swirly design on some of them. And most of the stuff you can get on Amazon. I'll link what you can get on Amazon in the description. And if you're getting a soap base, you're going to need a cutter. And if you're doing cold processed soap, you're still going to need this cutter to cut the slices. You're going to need mixing bowls. I actually have like 7 of these in different sizes. And if you're doing like cold processed soap or something, you're going to need distilled water. Make sure it's distilled, not just regular bottled water. And then if you're doing bath bombs, you'll need tools for that. I have 2 of them. It just depends on your preference. Depends on my mood and me working with them, which one I use. There's really not much of a difference. I mean, and how they're used anyway. And you'll probably need one of these, a gram scale. This helps a whole lot when you're weighing out like smaller items and these. And then you'll need a kitchen scale for weighing heavier items. And when you're doing whipped soap and body butters, you'll need a mixer, a hand mixer. Oh my goodness, dropping everything. And then if you were wanting to do like different molds, you'll need some of these. I have a ton of them, so I'm not going to dig them all out. But this is just an example of one. I got all these on Amazon. And then when you're doing whipped soaps and body butters and stuff like that, you're going to need something to put them in. So we have these little jars that we use. So this is our 8 ounce. We have 4 different sizes. We have 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then if you're wanting to do melt and pour, there are 2 different ways that you can melt your soap with. You can, like I said, use this and use a microwave, or you can use a double boiler system. Use a pot, something like this, and use a kitchen pot to melt it. I personally use the microwave method. I've started playing around with the double boiler. I'm starting to think that the double boiler is a lot better, personally. It doesn't overheat it, because if you overheat your soap, it can mess with the preservatives that are naturally in it if you're doing melt and pour. And then if you're using piping bags, you'll need something, like a cup or something, to, you know, be able to fill it up easier. And I feel like I'm missing something. There's a lot that goes along with this. I believe that's it. If I'm missing something, it'll be in the description. I'm going to put everything in the description. But if you're doing other products too, you're also going to need other stuff too, or other fillers, I guess. I don't know what jars. There you go. Said jars. You're going to need other jars. It just depends on what kind you want. Like this is our bath milk. This is a glass jar. This one, plastic. Another example would be our coconut vanilla bath powder, bath milk. This is also plastic. Love the smell of this. But anyway. Oh, I am forgetting something. Two things, actually. So, if you're doing this to sell to customers, you're going to need some of these heat shrink wrap bags. So, to give you an idea, that is a 4x6. So I also use 5x8 for our bigger items. This bath bomb, I haven't heat sealed it yet. This is in a 4x6 heat seal bag. So just heat seal it. You will need a heat sealer machine. I actually did not bring that over here. Hold on one second. Okay, this is an impulse sealer. So you're going to need this if you're selling them to be able to seal them shut. I'll make videos in the future of how to do this with different types of products, like awkward ones like bath bombs and stuff like that, bars of soap. Okay, and then another thing you're going to need is a cutting board. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. You're going to be cutting it up anyway, just like you would with food. Now, anything that I've mentioned, if you're using it for soap, you do not, I repeat, do not use for food. If you're like me, you get kind of lazy with washing stuff out, you don't want to mix that with your food. So you're going to want to have one dedicated solely to soap. And that goes for everything, your pots, your mixing bowls, cups, measuring cups, everything, anything that you use for this does not need to be reused for food making. And another item that I use quite a bit are these little measuring spoons, especially if it's items like, I don't know, coconut milk or something. And it doesn't require a whole lot, and I don't want to use a pipette to do it. I'll just use that and clean it out. A lot of stuff that I use, I try to make sure that it's reusable. It's better for the environment, and it's cheaper, I think, to just wash it out and reuse it. I will say that a lot of times with these pipettes, I will reuse them for things, especially if it's something like fragrance oil, for example. I mean, what I'll do, can't exactly show you how I do it, but I'll hold this like this and I'll pour the fragrance oil over top of it into the beaker, and it makes it easier to clean it because all you need to do is clean the outside of it. Again, I can show you how I do all this whenever I start doing the tutorials, which is probably going to be tonight. And another thing, you don't want to wear good clothes when you're doing this, especially if you're working with mica powders, any kind of coloring that stains. I know because I ruined a very good shirt doing it. So, I don't have that many old clothing items. This is one of them, so you're probably going to see me wearing this shirt quite a bit. It's not that I don't change my clothes, it's I don't want to ruin my good ones. And then if you're doing stuff like face masks, like our revitalizing face mask, you're going to want these little bags. But if you're doing it for yourself, a regular sandwich bag would be fine. But if you're doing it to sell, you're going to want to get stuff like this. And as I stated before also, a lot of my recipes, I do base mine off of Wholesale Supplies Plus and Brambleberry and any other places that are out there. I do mine with a twist. That's it. So it's not completely like 100% theirs. I add stuff or take stuff out to make it my own. But for the most part, when I'm doing the tutorials, it's going to be based off of that recipe. So there might be some cuts during the videos just due to the fact that I'm adding in the ingredients that I'm not going to give away. So there's that. Other than that, you're going to know exactly which recipe that I'm doing, and you can follow along with me because a lot of times they don't have videos on their website. So I'm more than happy to go through and everything that we're doing. But if there's anything on there that we don't do and you want to see it done, just let me know which kit or recipe or item you're looking at, and I'm more than happy to add that into the queue for videos. But doing some items like this are super easy. So a couple of these, I can't think off the top of my head at the moment which ones it is, but there are a couple recipes that I actually didn't change up. I just used theirs. This might be one of them actually. The pink grapefruit bath fizzy powder. So, now I believe that, nope, that's not. And then if you're doing selling items, you want to have packaging. Of course, that's going to be a whole another video, but just think about it. Like, what do you want to be known for? We use white organza bags for everything. So I have different sizes of organza bags. So we put everything in one of these. The only thing we don't put in organza bags are candles. Those are just candles. We actually have like little gift boxes that we use for those. I don't have any right here with me, or I'd show you. Okay, ladies and gents, I believe that really is it this time. If I'm forgetting something, I'll list it in the description, and I'll also include a link where you can go find it. Disclaimer, I am not at the moment, but I will be an Amazon affiliate, so I may benefit from anything that you buy on a link that you click in my description. It doesn't cost you anything. Amazon takes care of that for you. So it's not anything extra to you. I mean, if you read blogs and stuff, you know this. And we are starting a blog. I haven't got the post up yet, but I will. And I will include some of these videos. And some of them are going to have like just showing the product. You won't see my face. I won't be talking. It'll just be showing a product. So the channel is going to be split into two, tailored more towards business owners that's wanting to get started or want to see how things are done, and the other one is going to be for customers. So make sure you look at the playlist to ensure that you're at the correct playlist. But if you want to go check out the other videos, it doesn't bother me. If you want to, it's fine. I watch people make stuff too. I think it's interesting to watch different things being made. So I do believe that really is it this time. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I have here. No? Unless there's something here that I'm not thinking of. I don't know. If there's something else, I will link it in the description for you to go check out, purchase, add to your cart, whatever you want to do. But that ends the two-part series for the candle supplies and the soap supplies. From this point forward, it's going to be tutorials, I reckon. And again, if there's any tutorials that you don't see that's on the channel at the moment, if you just want to let me know in the comments or even email us, the email's on our profile, I'm more than happy to accommodate. You just have to tell me. We can't read minds. That's all it is. Just happy to help you out. You just have to let me know. Alright, that's it. Ta-ta for now, angels. Bye.